Stellantis, the fifth largest automaker in the world, may not be a household name, but it's behind some of the most iconic car brands you know: Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram. The company was born from the merger of France's Group PSA and Fiat Chrysler automobiles in 2021, creating a global automotive powerhouse. The promise of this mega merger was a union that could dominate the market, combining the resources, talent, and product lines of two automotive giants to compete in a rapidly evolving industry. However, after a remarkable start, the company is now facing one of its most significant challenges since its inception. With its stock value halved and investors increasingly losing faith, Stellantis finds itself grappling with the fallout of disappointing U.S. sales, internal struggles, and questions about its future. A golden start and a humbling fall. 2023 was a banner year for Stellantis, a period marked by strong sales and soaring profits. But by the first half of 2024, the automaker's fortunes had changed drastically. Its shares, which reached a peak of $29.51 in March, had plummeted to just above $13 by October, with U.S. sales at the heart of the decline. For Stellantis, which has long relied on its American brands, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram, the downturn has been particularly painful. Dealers are struggling to move inventory, and profit margins have dropped to dangerously low levels. The company's failure to meet expectations has not only eroded its market share, but also caused ripples of discontent among key stakeholders, from dealers to employees and the powerful United Auto Workers. Mounting discontent. Dealers and workers in rebellion. In September 2024, Stellantis's National Dealer Council sent a scathing open letter to company leadership, accusing them of poor management and voicing concerns about the direction of the U.S. operations. Dave Kelleher, a prominent Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler dealer in Pennsylvania, has been particularly vocal. He recalls a time just 3 years ago when profits for dealers were healthy, averaging around 4.5% of sales. Now, however, many dealers are barely scraping by, with some even losing money. Kelleher paints a bleak picture: dealership values have collapsed, sales have halved, and inventory is piling up. As of mid-September, Kelleher had 473 unsold cars worth nearly $27 million sitting on his lot. For a company that once set the benchmark for dealer profits, this is a severe downturn. The discontent isn't limited to dealers. The UAW, which has a long-standing influence in the auto industry, has been vocal about its dissatisfaction with Stellantis, even threatening to strike. Suppliers have also entered disputes with the company over pricing, further disrupting production and adding to the internal turmoil. From merger to crisis. How did Stellantis get here? Stellantis is a relatively new entity, officially formed in January 2021. Its creation was the result of a merger between France's Group PSA and Fiat Chrysler automobiles. The latter, itself a product of Fiat's rescue of Chrysler in 2009, has long been seen as the weakest of the Detroit three automakers, trailing Ford and General Motors in market share. Chrysler's journey has been marked by near collapse multiple times, only to be saved by daring leadership. The turnaround, orchestrated by the late Sergio Marchionne, former CEO of Fiat Chrysler, was legendary. Marchionne understood that to succeed, Chrysler needed strong, star-performing brands like Dodge and Jeep, which he revitalized to record-breaking sales in 2018. However, Stellantis' success following the merger hasn't been sustained. The initial years saw the company exceed its goals, cutting costs through synergies and weathering the supply chain issues brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. But this strategy has not been enough to maintain its momentum in a highly competitive market. What went wrong? The price hikes and product gaps. As the pandemic disrupted global supply chains, automakers, including Stellantis, raised prices to compensate for lower inventory levels. The strategy worked for a while, with customers willing to pay more for limited stock. Stellantis, however, took it a step further, raising prices more aggressively than its competitors. The result? Sticker shock. For instance, the price of a Jeep Wrangler increased by over 30%, and Stellantis introduced new models like the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer, with price tags reaching up to $120,000. Territory previously dominated by luxury brands like Range Rover and Cadillac's Escalade. While these price hikes initially boosted profits, they eventually alienated consumers. When combined with lagging product refreshes and quality control issues, customers began looking elsewhere. Some of Stellantis's recent product decisions have also raised eyebrows. The company cut several models from its lineup, including the Jeep Cherokee and the Chrysler 300, two cars that once attracted loyal customers. The Cherokee, a mid-size SUV that competed with bestsellers like the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V, was particularly notable. Its removal left a significant gap in the brand's offerings. As Kelleher lamented, "We had the best SUV lineup in America. We don't have that anymore." This thinning of the product lineup, along with rising prices, has left many Stellantis dealers without the vehicles they need to attract and retain customers. The aftermath. Financial pressure and leadership challenges. The result of these issues has been catastrophic for Stellantis's financial health. By the end of September 2024, the company was forced to slash its full-year forecasts for profitability and cash flow. On September 30th, its stock dropped by nearly 13%. With profits down by almost 50%, Stellantis has found itself under mounting pressure from shareholders, who are increasingly calling for CEO Carlos Tavares to step down. The company's once lucrative North American operations have suffered particularly hard, with market share eroding as rivals gain ground. Stellantis's American brands have seen an alarming accumulation of unsold inventory on dealer lots, with 5 of the 8 brands with the highest days supply sitting in its stable. Stellantis is now scrambling to offer incentives to help dealers clear out their 2024 models and make way for the next year's inventory. The road to recovery. Can Stellantis bounce back? Despite its current struggles, Stellantis is not without hope. The company has announced plans to release several new products in the coming years, some of which could breathe new life into its U.S. brands. For example, Jeep is preparing to launch the Recon, an electric SUV aimed at competing with EV startups like Rivian, and a revamped electric version of the Dodge Charger is expected by the end of 2024. Chrysler, too, is preparing for a significant product overhaul, with 3 new models slated for release starting in 2026, including an electric version of its iconic Pacifica minivan. The shift to electric vehicles, EVs, has been a key part of Stellantis's strategy, and the company's flexible Stella platform is designed to accommodate a range of powertrains, from gas-powered internal combustion engines to hybrids and fully electric vehicles. However, some critics like Kelleher believe Stellantis is placing too much emphasis on EVs and that its North American customers may not be ready for the shift. Nevertheless, Stellantis's ability to navigate the transition to electrification could determine its future success. The automaker's popular plug-in hybrid models, like the Jeep Wrangler 4xe, have already proven that there is a market for hybrid technology, and further expansion into the EV space could open up new opportunities. Stellantis's next steps. In response to the growing criticism, Stellantis has implemented a turnaround plan aimed at improving its performance in the second half of 2024 and beyond. The company has committed to working closely with its dealers to reduce inventory by 100,000 vehicles by early 2025. Stellantis executives have expressed optimism that this plan, combined with new product releases, will set the company back on the path to success. Despite its recent struggles, Stellantis is a company with vast resources and a history of overcoming adversity. Its brands remain iconic, and with the right leadership and strategic adjustments, it may be able to reclaim its place at the top of the automotive world. The next 6 to 12 months will be critical in determining whether Stellantis can rebound from its current challenges or whether it will continue to lose ground in an increasingly competitive industry. For now, all eyes are on Stellantis as it seeks to write the next chapter in its tumultuous journey.